all morning long. But we don't go buzzing over the houses even though we legally can. This is a real aircraft with a real pilot, licensed pilot in charge. In fact, I'm a flight instructor, so I can fly right over downtown. All right. But we got all these fields. Why do I want to be over there and annoy people?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're interested, but see all the crops on the river over here?
Yeah.
That's like the most popular crop in the world. It's called cacao, which is chocolate.
Yeah.
So Hawaii is the only place in the world that you can grow, or only place in America that you can grow chocolate. We have really, really good North Shore chocolate, and they'll give you free samples of chocolate and coffee over there at the sugar mill. See where that little smokestack is in the pyramid-shaped building? So if you're interested at all in bringing back some gifts to anybody, there's chocolate and coffee, and the big pyramid is a soap factory now. That's the old Waialua sugar mill. They used to grow sugar cane on the North Shore, but then DuPont Chemical Company bought the land, and they use it just as a laboratory. So there's no sugar cane grown on this island.
Have you ever had raw cacao?
I haven't.
It's kind of bitter, but it's worth a try. It's just to get like the pure flavor.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. So see the tall trees up there on the right?
Yeah.
All the fields before that is just the start of acres and acres of pineapple. So that's where the pineapple fields are. But up there, the tall trees are meant to block the wind. Remember I told you we have a wind that comes out of the east? Yeah. That's why there's clouds up there right now. The trade winds are light today, but they're blowing out of the east. The wind is hitting the mountain. The clouds form when the wind goes up 3,000 or 4,000 feet. The moisture condenses because of the temperature, turns into a cloud, and it makes rain. But the wind blows across here, and that doesn't make the coffee farmers happy because it cools down the coffee trees. So they put those tall trees there.
Right.
So just try to fly us. We're going to stay over the land on the outbound, but see the windmills turning there?
Yeah.
Try to stay between the windmills and the water, and if you get tired of flying, just tell me to do it. But right now, this bar is not level, so we're not going straight. In and out is never the right answer. Okay? It's left and right. So there you go. The reason why in and out moves our weight forwards and backwards, that will not change your heading. That'll make you go down or up faster.
Right.
So you're doing a great job. Just try to steer us between the shoreline and that first windmill, and I'll be able to take you to a really nice waterfall. And you keep letting the bar out, just don't pull it in.
Right.
But that's easier said than done. That's why you belong in the front seat. If you said, oh, wow, I really like this, I want to do it for fun, or I want to become a professional and get paid lots of money to do what you're doing, you would be in the front seat on your next flight, and that's because it's easier to fly from the front seat, so why make the student be in the difficult seat? See how there's a river and then a plateau and then a river and a plateau?
Yeah.
Rains up there 300 inches a year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep, it's because the spinning of the earth creates a highway of wind that blows almost every day, and the wind turns into rain. It's not because clouds come over here and drop rain. Most storms miss us. We're a tiny, 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 tiny little dot out in the middle of the Pacific, and we're 3,000 miles away from the closest land, so most storms never make it here. Now, if you're enjoying flying it like that, you're doing great, but you got to remember to just leave the bar out here. Okay. Every time you pull it in, that moves our weight forward, and it's a real hard thing not to do in the backseat, but that helps us go down, and we're not trying to go down.
Right.
We're at a nice altitude where I can pick a landing here if we need it, but we're above the haze. I'm trying to stay above all that haze from the salt. This is the famous North Shore when people are talking about the waves, because when waves break, if the wind blows into them, it helps make them hollow so the surfer can get in the barrel.
Right.
If the wind blows from the water to the land, it ruins the waves. It makes the water choppy.
Traffic, Lava 3, one flight of 2 Heavy C-17s ingressing Turtle Bay to Canes drop zones. Be our last planned pass at 1,100 feet. It's 2 Heavy C-17s. Please remain clear of the area for 5 more minutes.
So that's 2 military C-17s, and they're dropping parachutes on the other side of those white balls.
Nice. How close to the windmills are we allowed to go?
As close as you want, don't hit them.
All right. Are you okay if we go close to them?
Yeah. Just quit pushing in and out.
Okay.
Just let the bar float where it floats, and it's real hard not to push it in and out. But yeah, I don't care where you go over there, they're fine. I was going to have us go over there anyway because that's where a waterfall is that I want to show you. It's right where that front back row windmill is.
Yeah.
Try to go to that one. And what intrigues you about the windmills? Do you have any kind of relationship with windmills or anything? Or you just like them, or?
I'm an electrician and I'm really into like renewable energy, so I really like those.
Okay. Yeah, and there's solar down there too. These are super unpopular because they should have put them up on the mountains where the wind is better, and they shouldn't have ruined all the people's view over there. These people used to look across beautiful farmlands. This is zoned agriculture and education, and that's energy. That's a different category.
Right.
But they had a lot of power and money, and so they were able to say, well, we're going to take the money we make from the illegal business that we're going to do right here, and we're going to improve the water system for the agriculture. So my answer to them was, so you could have a whorehouse here too, as long as you're going to take the money and put it into what the land is intended for. The land is intended for schools or agriculture. That's it. It was given to them in a land trust, but you know, you can't fight big money. Each one of those windmills generates $3,000 a month, and there's 30 of them, so it's $90,000 a month for the 30 windmills for 20 years. So it's over $1 million a year for 20 years that they got for putting them here, and it would have taken a lot more money to put them up on the mountains because they would have needed helicopters.
Right.
Now, the reason why it's harder to fly right here is you're on the bumpy side of this mountain. When the wind rolls over the mountain, it gets disorganized, just like water flowing over a rock gets disorganized. Plus, going back and forth like a drunk is very common when you're a student pilot. We call it pilot-induced oscillations, but you're not in princess conditions, but just stay on the controls, but just watch what a little experience will do. I don't have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm not going to let this bar not be level. All right, so see how we're just going straight now?
Yeah.
But I can feel the vibration coming down the aluminum tubes, but I just wanted to show you that what you were doing isn't because that's what has to be done in this aircraft. It's because you're a beginner. All right, so I can do a left turn when I want because I want to show you the waterfall, and I can push the bar out here to make sure you try to let it float way out there, and there's your waterfall. That's one of the things on the North Shore I'd recommend you consider going to is that waterfall, because you can swim in that lagoon and have a waterfall come all over your head. Look at the two C-17s up there.
Wow.
So they're dropping out parachutes. Usually they're at 1,100 feet, so they're dropping out cargo up there.
Do you know what altitude we're at right now?
Give me a smile. Yeah, I would know exactly what altitude we're at. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
We're 1,512 feet above the ocean. The altitude that a pilot always goes with is sea level because it's the only common thing, so every pilot would know if you're going to run into each other. I don't know exactly how high we're up above the ground, although I'm sure there's a GPS program that would tell me, but I would guess that we're 1,500 feet above the sea right here. It's probably only about 200 feet. We're about 1,300 feet above the ground.
Eastwise traffic, Skyhawk, White Skyhawk, coming up on Moxie Point. We'll be setting up for the freeway for arrival.
So this is a really phenomenal beach, but keep in mind, see all these waves in front of us? This only happens in the winter time. About 6 to 8 months out of the year, storms come from Alaska to like Russia, okay? And we get waves. And then the rest of the year, it's flat over here. So people will tell you that you should go snorkeling at Sharks Cove. Sharks Cove is where the waves are just rolling right over those rocks right there.
Yeah.
And there's a little cove there. And if you went snorkeling there today, you get rescued. All right, nobody could swim in there
Because
safely.
the waves are too intense?
Yeah, you snorkel there in the summertime, not the wintertime. The waves down here, that break doesn't hardly ever break because the water's so deep. Look how small the surfer is
Yeah.
when they catch the wave.
He's getting it though.
Yeah, it didn't break because they were just out a little too far, but they'll catch them. The waves today are like 15 to 20 foot, actually some 25-foot faces. But there's almost never waves here even in the winter because if it's not gigantic, the water's too deep there to break. Those waves are so big, they're breaking in that deep water, but they're breaking everywhere else because it's shallower water, including places that people think are good snorkeling places. This is great snorkeling in the summertime, and you don't go in the water at all today. In any of these places, unless you're an experienced surfer, and you got to have fins or a board. You can't fight Mother Nature. Even if you were a good swimmer, they don't let them even have a surf contest out here and have rescue people getting in the water or caddies that bring out a backup surfboard when the surfer breaks their board. They can't even be in the water unless they have a board and a set of fins. Because if they're going to give the board to the surfer, then they don't have fins. You can't fight this ocean without fins. That's how powerful it is. And I'm talking, these are lifeguard quality swimmers.
So very experienced people.
Very experienced. But if you want to watch surfing today, we're going to go up here to the Bonsai Pipeline. I'm just helping fly a little bit because we're on the bumpy side of the mountain. And I'm just trying to help because the wind is just tumbling over here. And it makes the surf better, but it makes the air worse. But it's not dangerous. But see where this pile of rocks is on the beach?
Yeah.
So that's a surf break called rock piles. Not very inventive. But up there where the schoolyard is, there's a beach in front of it that if you want to watch surfing today, it breaks really, 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 really close to shore. And they're holding a professional surf contest. You're going to be able to see a couple jet skis in the water. They film from the jet skis for TV shows, and they do rescues with the jet skis. And they'll have 4 surfers at a time surfing there. And it's one of the most entertaining waves to watch for surfing because it breaks real close to the beach. But this is the Bonsai Pipeline.
Is that near the Volcom House?
Yes.
So I've been there actually earlier this week.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was really nice to see like the people, skilled surfers, get out of the pipeline, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you've already done something really cool. Now there's one hotel. See way up there, the hotel.
Yeah.
There's a beach at that hotel that's real nice and calm. And it's got a really nice restaurant if you want to spoil yourself and have a nice lunch and some drinks. There's all beaches and all hotels are open to the public. There's also a beach this side of it with no hotels, which is called Cavella Bay. You can see it from here. See all the calm water in there? That's another beach that you can get in the water at either the Turtle Bay Resort or at Cavella Bay. And Heidi will go over it on a map for you.
Nice.
Now the kite keeps wanting to go to the right, so bring that left side down. That's what I was doing, and now I'm going to have you do it. You want to keep us staying over the water. That's it. Good job of leveling it. I feel how bumpy it is.
Yeah.
It's because we have a mountain to the right of us. If the wind was coming from our left, the water would be choppy and crappy and the air would be smooth. They're always exactly opposite. Right now we have really good surfing conditions for the wind, but the air is going to be